We're going live.
Welcome to the Football Dugout, ladies and gentlemen. You are here for the European Championship preview. It's only a few days away. The Euros are coming. We are gassed. It's myself, Devo. I've got the main man, Javern, up in the corner in the whip. You know, the man will never miss a show. It's just in his contract. He's never going to miss a show. And Neeks is here, just fresh out of Twitter jail. And he's here in his mastermind chair, about to kick some knowledge for us. How's everyone feeling?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. It's been a very busy weekend. Obviously celebrating my
Happy
30th.
birthday to you. Happy
It's like
birthday
free.
to
Well, hold
you.
on, free parties. Like I had two of my own.
Mm-hmm.
My nephew's first birthday yesterday, so obviously we had to do something.
So you gate crash your own nephew's first party.
He gate crashed my mum. This is my mum. He gate crashed. So yeah, listen, I am and I was working today and exhausted, but I'm just gearing up, just warming up, making sure I'm ready for the Euros.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Scattered leaks.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and obviously, guys, subscribe to the channel, follow us on the socials, and just hit the notification bell so you're aware of what's going on. We're gonna have a few extra content coming up throughout the Euros as well. And I have to just say this because I promised I would. This shirt that I'm wearing came from surpriseshirts.com. I won a competition on Rivalry Side TV, and I said that I would wear the shirt so that they can see. But what I'm going to say, this is the only time I'm going to wear this shirt because it has since been told to me that Energy Cottbus, their fans are very racist. So when the intro plays, I'm taking this off, putting on an Arsenal shirt. I can't do this. But I did promise I'd tell them that. Thank you for the shirt and that. So yeah, Javon, hit the intro, bro.
He's not back, guys. He's not back. He's still got the shirt and he can't get rid of it. He loves
And we're back.
back.
There we go. Just had to change the shirt. Can't be wearing that.
I was just telling him that you wanted to keep it on. That's why you took so long. You couldn't get rid of it.
You know what the thing is? I was like, yeah, all right, nice shirt, blah, blah. And obviously Florian does the Bundesliga show. So I showed them the shirt and he's like, oh, you don't want to wear that. I was like, thank you, tell me they're not racist. He sent me all these pictures of their fans and that's shit. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Euros. So let's go group by group and let's go alphabetically because that makes sense. So Group A, and this is Italy, Turkey. Who else is in this one? Italy, Turkey, Switzerland, and Wales. So Wales on the home countries are in that. Firstly, let's start with Italy, as most people would see them as the main team in this group. Roberto Mancini as their manager. Not necessarily got all the major star names that you'd expect from an Italy squad from back in the year, but I think it's a very balanced squad. And I think Italy not having much expectation is a dangerous Italy.
And I think, put it like this, most of the time, what Italy love a scandal going into a tournament. They perform best when there's a little scandal. So they had the match fixing in 2006. And there was something else before Euro 2012. Was it some more match fixing? I think there was some more match fixing before 2012. Unfortunately for them, there ain't been no match fixing this year. So I don't know if they're gonna go and win the tournament or how deep they're actually gonna go. But I do like they've got some quality players. I do like the look of their squad. The group that they're in with Turkey, Switzerland, Wales. Now, you can't take anything lightly in this tournament in at this level, but I would expect them to go through. I'm not going to say expect them to go through top because there is competition, but I do expect them to get through that group. Yeah, I think and I know how the Italian fans are, if they don't get out of the group, like the manager's gone, then the fans ain't going to care one bit. They're like they would be in uproar. Italy are not, they're not taking that. They're not going to think, oh well, it's a team that we don't really expect. The fans expect us. We might not. We're looking at it like it ain't got the star names of yesteryear, but the fans expect, and I think the players are going to know that I think the manager Mancini's going to know that. I'd expect him to go out of the group.
Yeah, and obviously Roberto Mancini he's been around. He's won things. You know what I mean? He's a good manager. Italy have been pretty solid throughout the qualifiers coming into this tournament. They won a friendly the other day 4-0. You know, they've got a large intercontingent plus the experience of the likes of Chiellini, Bonucci, and whoever else. I think it's a strong squad, and I think they will go deep into the tournament. I think it's going to be one of them ones where people look at the semi-finals and they're like, "Who's playing the semi-finals this year?" Oh, France, bro. Italy. How did Italy get
the
there?
thing is, it's so tough because right now they've got obviously you got the top two go through, and you've also got this third place, like the best three third place teams still go through. So by hook or by crook, all the big teams should be in the knockout rounds, and you kind of think when you get there, it's like, we're 90 minutes away from the next round. You look at Portugal in the last Euros; they didn't win a game inside 90 minutes until the semi-final. Like they literally, I think they drew all their group games. I think they won in extra time, then they won on penalties, and then they finally beat Wales in the semi-final in 90 minutes. So when it gets to the knockout rounds, yeah, it's like for me, it's anyone's game. I think there's only two. We'll get to them, but there's only two teams that anyone is like, I want to avoid. Whereas everyone else, I think it's fair game. I think Italy will back themselves against any other but two teams, which is obvious too. But the players like the one I'm looking at, Barella, obviously had a very good season with Inter Milan. Obviously we know about Verratti, how good he is. Is Jorginho? Does he start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've got so many options in midfield.
They do. But even up front, the likes of Immobile, Chiesa, Bernardeschi, Insigne, they've got quality players. I just don't know whether they're ready to, let's say, if we're talking about win the tournament, I don't know if they're ready for that. But they've definitely got quality players. Can't take them lightly.
Stranger things have happened. All right, let's move on to Switzerland and Granit Xhaka and Shaqiri's Switzerland. Now, Switzerland are one of those teams that always qualify for tournaments and qualify well. They're usually in England's group and they run England close. But they always qualify well, and then they get to the tournament, manage to sneak out the group, and then they get kicked out in the first knockout qualifiers. They will fancy this group, I think, Switzerland. They don't have, again, no real stars. I think Shaqiri is the main talisman. Embolo, when he can sort out his feet, he's a decent player.
What's Embolo keeping up with these days? Because he was supposed to be the next best thing at one point.
He was. And he went to Mönchengladbach, and he's not really done much there, but he has all of the abilities. Just he looks like he doesn't know how to play football in his head. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's powerful, he can run, he can shoot, he can't pass. Do you know what I mean? But he's just not an intelligent footballer for me. So yeah, Switzerland. What are your thoughts on Switzerland, Neeks?
It's funny. I think their key player, as weird as it is, it's probably Shaqiri. Like he doesn't even get a look in for Liverpool, but he still plays very regularly for the national team, regardless of how often he's playing for Liverpool. Now, some people might think, well, maybe he's benefited from the lack of game time, but I think when it's that limited, is he even going into this tournament match fit? It's weird because he ain't played much game, but he plays in the number 10 position for Switzerland. So obviously everything kind of goes for him in terms of creating goals, even scoring goals. If they get out of the group, they've done well. I think if they get out of the group, they've done well. I think they're probably fighting for, I would say, a best third place team, third place. They're usually solid. They don't concede many goals. Yeah, hard to beat. So they're trying to eke out maybe a couple draws against the strong teams in the group and maybe try and beat Wales. But as I said, if they get out of the group, I think that's as far as they're going to go.
I agree with that. And Wales. Let's move on to Wales. Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey. And
your boy Aaron Ramsey.
My boy Aaron Ramsey. Yeah, man. My boy Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah, you know it.
Do we think that them guys can do another madness like they did last time and just basically prove everybody wrong? Because I, for one, I'm thinking they're coming bottom in this group.
You know what's funny? The fact before I get into that, I saw I think who were they playing? It was a warm-up game, and Dan James was like the poster boy. I was like, damn, is that where Wales? He is the main man at the front. I think I don't know if Bale was in the picture as well, but maybe he wasn't. But Dan James was right at the front of it. I was thinking, damn, but he plays well for Wales. He plays well for Wales. Again, I think they're going to be fine with Switzerland to get out of the group. I think whatever the result between those two, that would probably determine a third place position. But it maybe call it a bit of bias in terms of like a home nation, so to speak. And you said they're playing their games at home.
I think I'm not sure if Wales have got games at home.
Oh, okay.
I know Scotland have got 2. I'm not sure if Wales have got any.
But sure. I think they could sneak out. Bale is a match winner. Like regardless of what, he can come up in that moment to get a goal. And Ramsey's done that throughout the years. They are really, again, they're going to have to play on a case of try and not concede and nick one on a set piece or something like that. I think they can get out. Again, it's going to be a fight, but I don't expect them to replicate what we saw at Euro 2016.
Yeah, I think the games they're playing their home games in Baku, so that's not exactly home advantage for them. That's quite far, man. That's far.
That's right. That's Azerbaijan.
I think Wales, their squad isn't great. They've got quite a few players from the likes of Luton, and them man there. They've got quite a few players.
Is Hal Robson-Kanu still there?
No, he didn't make the squad.
Brilliant goal against Belgium.
No, he didn't make the squad. Didn't make the squad. They've got players at Cardiff and them mid-table championship sides, and you're going up against some really good players. But and there's also the whole Ryan Giggs thing. Ryan Giggs can't even be there because man's a criminal.
Allegedly,
man's a criminal.
I guess I say that
did that shit.
He's
a criminal. He's a criminal.
Whatever Devo says is the views of Devo and not me. I will wait for the legal matters to be concluded.
Man's a criminal.
Man, you're gonna get a gagging order in a minute. That man got power.
Even if he didn't do this, he's a criminal for what he did to his brother.
Fair enough.
Right, last team in the group, Turkey, and Erhan has been going on about how good Turkey are and how they're going to win everything in the Telegram group and in the comments. Turkey beat Netherlands not too long ago and looked great doing so. They've got a very good squad, to be honest, and I think they might surprise some people. I can see them getting out of this group.
Yep.
I can see them being a tough game for whoever they play in the knockout stages. Welcome, Javon. Good to see you now back in the office. That was swift, man. It's quick.
Trying.
Yeah.
You know what I like about Turkey, and I always have when it comes to international tournaments, the passion that I see from them, or should I say the passion that I see from their fans, is the same that I see from the players on the pitch. Those men are playing for their nation. They are playing for their country. It's not I'm not taking away from other teams, whatever, but they look like fans on the pitch in terms of the passion they have. You see them giving their all. So and that's what I do like about Turkey in the national tournaments. And because of that, if they come up against what would be considered more a favourite, they are so dangerous. I think they play with, you could say, the handbrake off. They play to win games. They're not there to just take part and try and hold out. If they're drawing, it's 2-2. It's not going to be no new nonsense. Like I love the way Turkey play football, and you see obviously Borat Yilmaz, back from wherever he was, and man's firing Lille to the title and all them kind of things there. So I hope Turkey get out of the group for my own sake. In terms of enjoyment of watching the tournament, I expect them to get out of the group. And I could see them even get into a quarters. I could see them get into a quarters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's true that them man, when they play football, once they go on the pitch, it's war.
Yeah, as it should be. Because it's country v country. It's war.
Yeah. Them man, and I rate that. I do rate that. So just quickly before we move on to Group B, 1 to 4, who finishes where?
I'm going to go Switzerland 4th, Wales 3rd, Italy and Turkey will finish on level points, and it'll be goal difference. Let's say Turkey on goals scored. Yeah, Turkey top on goals scored, Italy second.
Juventus.
I'm looking at the table now because obviously I was thinking the car. I'm looking at. I think Italy will top this group. So I think Turkey or Wales would make it through. So it has to be one of those two. It's all. I'll say Italy, Turkey, Wales, Switzerland.
No love for Granit Xhaka and Amanda.
Who?
Terrible. Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka is he's gonna get the player of the tournament, trust me. And then he's gonna leave Arsenal. Right, Group B.
Don't worry, you don't need Xhaka. You got Emil Buendia coming in.
You got who?
Buendia coming in, whatever his name is.
Listen, man.
Yeah, Buendia. That's it.
You know what? If I wouldn't trust Arsenal to go KFC for me and get a meal, they'll come back with like just
Welcome
wings.
to Arsenal.
You might get me a Tower Zinger meal, yeah? Come back with 3 wings. What is this? Yeah, the West is coming and we're going to pay for it over 5 years. Dickheads. Group B, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. So the big boys, Belgium, man like Zard, Last Chance Hotel. Can Belgium do anything? That squad is
Last
aging.
Chance Hotel.
That squad is aging, man. Look, Vertonghen's 38, whatever he is. Vermaelen is playing in Japan. You know what I mean? Alderweireld's getting on. Courtois getting on. I mean, all of these guys are aging. So if they don't win
I don't know
now,
why people keep saying it's their last chance. They ain't going
it's their last
nowhere.
chance at a European Championship. Do you think they can do it, Jay?
They ain't going anywhere. But they're done.
You know what?
They're done. Like, I think they'll probably make it out of this group for sure, but I think they ain't making it to the end. They're out by the second round, man. They're done. They'll make it through this group. I think they'll make it through this group.
They have to make it through this group.
They'll make it through. Denmark and Belgium, I would say. But I don't think they're going anywhere. Like, we've been saying it's their golden age for how long?
That's how it works, isn't it? Golden generation, but it's the same thing with England. Golden generation couldn't get over the line.
But theirs is done.
I mean, could it be a case of now there's no expectation that they play better? I mean, they played well in the 2018 World Cup. But because of, you said, the golden generation, everyone expecting them, you have to win something. There's no way that, for example, they should have got knocked out to Wales in 2016, for example. But maybe with less expectation, they might shock a few people. That being said, I don't expect them to shock anyone. Like, I think the defense is too poor. I think that's the key. The defense is too poor. In that group, Lukaku could end this tournament as top goal scorer. And I don't think they'll get past the quarterfinals because that group is, other than Belgium, is poverty. Like, Denmark are poor, Finland are poor, Russia are poor. Lukaku could end the group stage with 6 goals, seriously. And last 16, if he gets another 7, probably top goal scorer, just on that.
Yeah.
Just on that. But
I have a feeling Lukaku might be in the race for top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Lukaku for Belgium bags. He scores goals. But I disagree with you with the team that I want to talk about next, Denmark. I think Denmark are a very good side. Solid.
You think so?
Yeah, oh yeah. I think they are the only place I think they really... Schmeichel. I think the only place really where they struggle is up front. They don't have an out-and-out goal scorer. They've got workers, Braithwaite, Poulsen. These guys are workers. Do you know what I mean? They're not...
Wait. When you say Braithwaite, as in Barca Braithwaite?
As in Barca Braithwaite, yeah.
Madness. I didn't know you Braithwaite.
Yeah, he's Danish. And they've got when you look at their centre-backs, Vestergaard, who had a very good season, Christensen, who looks very good at Chelsea at the moment. They got Simon Kjær in Milan, who's very good. I can't remember who the fourth one is, but all 4 of their centre-backs are probably better than England's centre-backs. Do you know what I mean? And their central midfield, Højbjerg, Delaney, Eriksson, is solid. It's solid, and they've got some really good players in that Danish squad. So I expect them to get through this group, and they're kind of my dark horses to be that team who surprises everybody and gets far. I'm not going to say they're going to win it, but if they reach up a semi-final, I wouldn't be surprised personally.
So you're having them as your dark horses?
They're my dark horses, yeah, 100%.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What are you guys? Well, I know how Neeks feels about Denmark. He thinks they're very poor. Jay?
Denmark, you calling out those names, it's like calling out Belgium's names to me. Like they all got promised. They all should be really good, but how far are they gonna go? Where did they get last time?
I don't even know if they was in it last time.
Oh yeah, I don't remember them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they got into it.
So I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't know. They got a very good team. They won't. Once again, another team that I don't think will go too far. They'll probably pose a threat, but I don't think they'll go too far. But out of that group, bring it back up again.
Finland and Russia are the two that aren't saying much.
I think, it'll be Belgium and Denmark to get out of that group. Belgium 1 or 2. I can't place it right now because Belgium.
I could see Belgium getting 3 wins out of 3.
I think Denmark gets 7. Belgium gets 7.
You need 7?
Yeah.
I think Belgium 3 out of 3. Denmark 6. Sorry, we have 3 wins out of 3. That's 9 points. Denmark 6 points, and Finland and Russia. I mean, for their sake, someone better win in it to get a chance of coming out of the group with 3 points.
For their sake,
but they could all draw that game and 1 point each, and they're out of the tournament. I think Finland and Russia ain't making out of the group.
Respect Timo Pukki.
Yeah, Finland and Russia.
I'm not respecting it.
They're not coming out.
Respect Glenn Kamara as well. I mean, black man playing for Finland. Got to respect that. Russia also have a Brazilian in their side as well. But the thing is with Russia, I was talking about that before, is they don't have players playing outside of Russia anymore. I think there's only 2 or 3 in the squad who play outside of Russia, which is madness. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I know they had issues in the league where they don't allow a certain amount of foreigners. I think you can only have 3 foreign players in your squad, which is probably why Russian players aren't leaving anymore, because they're not allowed to. The clubs are like, no, we need to keep you guys because we can't have foreigners. But I think that kind of makes their team less of a threat when it comes to these tournaments. So, yeah, I think Belgium and Denmark get through that group quite easily as well.
Yeah.
Just before we go on to the next, I know we're talking about Euros here. We've got a super chat here from Sage saying Haaland to Chelsea is almost confirmed. Where are you getting these reports from? I'm so confused.
Sauce.
Am I gonna see deal done? Hazard. I mean, Haaland to Chelsea soon in the video.
It's
done deal.
Mayonnaise, burger sauce, ketchup. That's his sauce. That's free. Trust me, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Someone's like, Wallahi, yeah. Wallahi. Haaland to Chelsea. Yeah, man, trust me. My brother works for Chelsea, innit?
Wait, what did I see? What I say? It's almost confirmed. There hasn't even been a bid, let alone a bid accepted.
Almost confirmed. And then someone else asked me, like, what's your thoughts on Haaland? Listen, I've got no thoughts until the deal's done. If it is to happen,
maybe there's nothing about the player.
That's the best way to do it, though.
No, he said thoughts on the deal, on Haaland to Chelsea. You know, guys.
Yeah, until you see the man sign, holding the shirt and all of them things there, don't get hyped. Trust me, as an Arsenal fan.
Apparently, we're just trying to figure out the wages.
We haven't agreed a fee with Dortmund about wages.
Golly.
All right, Group C. This is Netherlands, Austria, Ukraine, and North Macedonia. Macedonia weren't even a country. Like, they weren't even a country like a few years back. Oh yeah, so big up themselves for getting into this.
This is the real poverty group. You got a group of death, and you got I don't know, what is it, a group of poverty? I don't know what we call it.
Yeah.
But this group is gonna be like, no, you have it, no, you have it, no, you have it, no, you have it. Who is going through this group? Apart
Everyone
from
will say
Netherlands.
See, I'm not so sure, because under Frank de Boer, they've been terrible. They've
So they
been
called him the
whatless.
worst manager in Premier League history for a reason.
They have been whatless. And I think Ukraine finished above Portugal in the qualifying group. So you can't sleep on Ukraine.
No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah, and I think Austria got a
Pavlyuchenko
very
doing
good
these
side as
days.
well. Yeah. I
Who's
think
gonna bank for Austria? What's that guy's name? For that move from Dortmund. Sorry, that move from Bayern. Alaba. Golly, you're gonna play striker. I see that's what these countries do, you know. Whenever they got the good player, they always make them play up front. Clint Dempsey up front. Every time they have one good star player, they just play them up front.
No,
You can be a defender.
Alaba played midfield for Austria, DM 10, left wing back the other night. Alaba plays everywhere. No, he's a true man. Just put him on the pitch. You know, you remember back in the day, Championship manager Luis Enrique.
Yeah,
he literally could play anywhere in midfield or anywhere up front. It's just bare letters. That's Alaba. Man could play anywhere. But Austria got a very good squad there, man. They got a very good squad. Which obviously with I think 21 out of their 26 players being in the Bundesliga, I get to see them quite a lot. So I wouldn't sleep on them. I wouldn't be surprised if Netherlands don't finish top of this group.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, so who would you
be surprised
back for top place then?
I wouldn't be surprised if either Netherlands, Ukraine, or Austria finish top of this group. I think this is a very open group.
I'm gonna go for Ukraine to top it. I think they might make first place. Yeah, I mean Netherlands are a letdown, man. They're not playing well at all. And they got some talented players, but yeah, not playing well at all. And Ukraine's got some decent players. They got some decent players. You know, I don't like to mention man like Zinchenko, but here we go. Malinowski, Atalanta.
Yeah.
You know, they got some decent players. So is Shevchenko's them? Is Shevchenko their manager?
Shevchenko's manager,
yeah. Shevchenko's the manager.
Old school baller.
Man went from we're getting old, you know. Man was like star striker when we were there.
Yeah.
We were young, and now he's
man, look at all the managers, man. Like they're all ballers from when I was a kid. It's madness. Frank de Boer, Shevchenko, Luis Enrique, Southgate. All these men. I remember watching these men play football. No, but I'm saying he's kicking ball. And you know, that's man. I'm getting old, man. Getting old.
All right, so I'm going Ukraine first, Netherlands second, Austria third, and I think Austria will go through as one of the best third place teams. Yeah, North Macedonia. Thanks for coming in it. It's time to go.
Get the whooping, boys.
They should be in it. If anyone's serious in that group, deal with them proper. Give yourself a good
could they do in
chance.
Iceland? You know what I mean? One of them ones there, just surprise everybody. I doubt it.
Sick.
I don't think so. Jay, 1 to 4.
Netherlands, Austria, maybe, and then a toss-up of the last two.
Wow.
Could be wherever the coin lands on. That's who will come third for me. It could be Ine or
So I think Austria win the group. I think
Netherlands will come good, man. They have to come good.
Netherlands second, they'll go through, and I think Ukraine will go through as a third place in Macedonia bottom. I reckon. That's my team. Apparently, Germany are beating up Latvia at the moment, 2-0 up already. We'll move on to Germany later, but let's do Group D, and that's England's group. England.
It's coming on.
It's not coming on, man.
Football coming. Well, England could, if they make it to the final, have 6 games at Wembley. So it is technically coming home.
One way or another, it's coming home.
So obviously,
it was supposed to come home in the last thing, man. It was there for the taking. It was there.
You say that. France would have slapped them up in the final anyway.
Yeah. Well, the problem isn't necessarily the talent we have on the pitch. It's the man selecting the talent on the sidelines, and you know he has to figure out how to play these attacking players that suits them. Do you know what I mean? You got to have how Harry Kane in an England shirt can't be coming deep when you have man like Grealish, Foden, Mount, Sancho, Sterling. What are you doing coming deep? We don't need. You got the playmakers there. This ain't Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? Stay in the box, get on the end of things. That's what you need to do. So unless Southgate's man enough to tell him that, which I don't think he is, England ain't going to do nothing. So
England are coming in second in this group.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well,
but that might be beneficial though.
They want to come second because first place in this group plays second in the group of death, and
even
you want to come. You want to come second in this group.
Yeah.
So they might do like they did in the World Cup, throw the last game and come second.
Yeah. So thoughts on
isn't that match fixing?
Rotation, isn't it?
Rotation. Man like Ben White. Jay, your thoughts on England and their chances?
They have no chance to win with Gareth Southgate in charge of them. I can't make this any clearer than that. It's literally that. England ain't winning anything this year. It ain't nothing winning until Southgate goes. Unfortunately, that's what it is, isn't it? Obviously, I'm not going to scream Southgate out because I don't even care about international football like that, man. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of England and their nonsense. I don't know. Their managerial appointments are poor. This is probably one of a very good England team in terms of players that we've had for a while, and it just looks like we're going to have the same issues. It looks like they're going to have the same issues.
No, say what you said.
Then they're going to have the same issues.
That's your truth. That's your truth.
True colours there,
young man.
Going to have the same issues like when they had what's that guy when they couldn't find a place for Scholes. And they wanted to play him out left because they wanted Gerrard and Lampard to play together. Yeah. In this case, they might as well played 4-3-3, but I probably didn't play that back then. But yeah, it looks like that's the same issue they're gonna have. Yeah, he doesn't know what to pick or who to pick at this rate. That game yesterday didn't even look that great. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a rough Euros, man. If anyone thinks England is gonna win it, they have another thing coming. And normally I'm like, normally I'm losing. I'm always saying, no, England can win it. And everyone's like, nah, look at the players. I'm like, for once, the players are good enough. We ain't gonna get anywhere because the manager's gonna do something dumb, man.
This manager got them to the semi-finals of the World Cup and the semi-finals of the Nations League.
What do you mean, man? It was the easiest vibes, man.
Who's a vibe? Why is it vibe? Just tactics. Get the set pieces in there and get Stones and Maguire on
vibes. What vibes, man?
Easiest run to World Cup semi-final I think I've ever seen.
Hey, you got to beat
what's in front of you. So can he beat what's in front of him in this group?
I want actually who they play in first.
Is
Croatia their first game?
Croatia, Czech Republic I think is first.
No, Croatia. Croatia's first game.
Croatia first, yeah.
Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic.
Yeah.
I struggle against.
See that first one is tough one.
I'm going 7 points for England, 7 points for Croatia, and they better hope that they got a worse goal difference and they come second, because whoever comes first and plays someone from the group of death is out in the last 16. I'm 100% sure of that. Out in the last 16.
Tell you what, I think Croatia have a better chance of beating one of those group of death boys than England do. I think Croatia.
Yes.
Yeah, Croatia have a better chance of beating one of them big boys.
I think England can beat Croatia more than I think Croatia can beat England. But I do agree that against one of those boys, I think Croatia have a better chance. I would agree with that.
And you know what's so funny about all of this here? You say England, if they want a chance, they have to come second. Listen, they ain't throwing a game. They're gonna come second. Like, I can see them losing to Croatia, probably twice.
So it's only one game in the group, bro.
So it's not okay. Back to back. No. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna go out, man. That's the
go out where in the group?
They'll go second, and then they'll probably, and if they do come first, they're out straight away.
Now, I think Croatia will give England proper problems. because Croatia have been together for a long time.
Who did
They
England
know
play
each other.
today? Gave them problems. Golly.
Yeah, I think Croatia have got, Modric. If he's on form, then Croatia do bits. Kovacic, Perisic, Brozovic, all these men that have played together for a good 10, 12 years. They know each other inside out. Do you know what I mean? And they've been to the final of the World Cup. They're hungry. This is going to be Modric's last European Championships. He's going to be hungry. So I think Croatia will really trouble England, and I think Croatia will win the group. England will come second. Czech. I wouldn't be surprised if Czech gave England problems as well, Czech probably got some
Everyone could give
decent
England
players.
problems, man.
Well, I
We're
hope
gonna
Czech
go
gets
out there
slapped.
starting 6
But,
defensive players.
Yeah.
I think if England comes second, I think they'll reach the semi-finals. If they come first, then they're out in the last 16. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Croatia, I think Croatia are done. This generation, I think 2018 they peaked. Everyone's at even Modric. It's not Modric's fault, but you look at Real Madrid in the Champions League, and you see how the English teams, Chelsea specifically, were able to just run. They was outrunning them in the midfield. Modric ain't got I'm not saying he was ever had that kind of legs and energy, but he's physically limited than previously. And I think they've got a lot of older players now who are past their peak. Yeah, I don't rate them greatly, but they'll be a tough side. I wouldn't have, like, in the World Cup, I had them as I didn't. I had England as my dark horses, but I thought if they had a chance of going deep, I don't expect them to go deep this year, whether they finish first or second.
And the fourth team in the group, who we haven't mentioned yet, is Scotland.
Oh, Scotland!
Scotland, Scottish. I was saying something the other day.
Leading them to glory.
Hey, don't hate on Scott McTominay,
I'm
but I was saying the other day, Scotland's chances will all come down the left-hand side because they have Robertson left wing back, Tierney left centre back. That's where they're going to get any joy they're getting is down that side of the pitch. And this is one reason why I'm so upset Trent got injured, because I would have loved to see Trent versus Robertson. I reckon Robertson would have run rings around him. He would have run him ragged. But I think it'll be very interesting to see who Gareth Southgate chooses to play against Scotland, because whoever that right back is, they're going to have a tough game. I can see him going for Kyle Walker for the experience.
He'd probably match them in a back three, I think, possibly. Kind of thing that Southgate would do. Instead of going on the front foot, he would be trying to counter them. And so he'd probably go, Kyle Walker right centre back, sorry. And maybe a Reece James or Trippier right wing back. But I mean, that game will be interesting because that game is at Wembley.
Yep.
So it's obviously the old enemy, Scotland against England. So hopefully get a good crowd in there, good atmosphere from both sides.
Oh yeah, it'll be hyped.
Yeah, but I expect England to win it.
They should.
Yeah, the quality. Scotland they have the passion, but they ain't got the quality.
That's it. Scotland will turn that into what we were saying with Turkey, turn it into a war, and hope that England can't hack it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I fully expect Scotland to go home with 0 points. If I'm being honest, I think they'll go home with nothing. But yeah, I think Croatia top the group, England second, Czech third, Scotland 0 points.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Same. All right, we got a few super chats, I think.
Yeah, Southgate is lucky. The boys manager in the Euros, like Southgate, is bad. The boy, as the special one said, is the worst manager to manage in the EPL. I'm guessing that's Yasser Saeed, who is now UFC. Why UFC?
Why UFC?
Oh, right. Is that Yasser Saeed?
I think it's him.
If it ain't, we'll just say it is anyway.
I think it's him. And
I think there's one more, yeah?
Yeah, from Cold to the Awesome. Do you guys think Fatsard will ball at the Euros?
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I don't believe he will.
He's done, man. He's done.
He might play well. I reckon he'll get showed up by his brother. I think his brother will have a better tournament than him. But
don't know what happened to him, man. The guy fell off completely.
He doesn't love the game of football, man. He's just good at it. And when the pressure got to him at Madrid, he's like, I'm not here for this. Do you know what I mean? His body gave up and he's not worried about it. He's like, whatever. Right, Group E. Group E, Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden. Now, this is an interesting group because Spain might not be able to play. Sergio Busquets has been diagnosed with coronavirus, which means all of them have to quarantine, basically. They were supposed to have a friendly against Lithuania or something like that, which I'm not sure if it's been cancelled or if they've had to play the under-21 team instead. But there's a good chance Spain won't be able to fulfill their first fixture in this tournament, which I don't know what the contingency plan if that happens. Does someone else get called up who lost in the playoffs? Like, remember was it 92 when Yugoslavia couldn't play because a war broke out in Yugoslavia, and they were replaced in the tournament by Denmark, who went on to win the tournament. So Denmark were brought up, I think, 2 weeks before the tournament started, were called into the tournament and went on and won it. So if Spain can't fulfill their fixtures, is that something that possibly UEFA will look at?
Well, from what I saw, obviously they got they have to quarantine. Their first fixture's on the 14th, is it?
I believe so.
I believe it's on the 14th. So they have got about a week, which is
Monday.
enough
Monday
time.
They literally have 7 days. Yeah,
they'll all be tested, I guess. Since after that, I don't know what the quarantine rules are these days. Everything's all a blur. Unless more people catch it within the Spain squad, because it might just be Busquets, you isolate, test everyone, and everyone else is fine. But if more of them catch it, so unless more of them catch it, I just think it might be, you may get a small delay where you have to play, the matches move back a couple of days or something like that. But I'd be very surprised. That if they replace them with another team, that would be so unfair.
That would be so
unfair. It would be. It really would. It's not even unless him or multiple people were out breaking the rules of quarantine restrictions. Anyone can just catch it. You can just catch it. You ain't done nothing. You ain't done nothing outside the law, outside the rules, or whatever, and you just catch it. I think that'll be so unfair. So hopefully, there's going to be no issue there.
All right, so let's talk about if they do make it to the tournament. What are their chances? A lot of people saying this isn't a great Spain squad compared to previous squads. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on Spain. I don't think this squad is as bad as people have made it out to be.
They got Laporte now.
Yeah, you don't have the Iniestas and your Xavis and your David Villas and your Fernando Torres. You don't have these names, Fabregas, David Silva. But there's still some very good players in this squad. Who are technically gifted and can play ball. And I think maybe the lack of expectation, again, kind of like Italy, could help Spain just kind of glide their way through, because the group's not the toughest.
No,
it's not been given the hardest group. So maybe they can get through that and then build momentum and go forward in the tournament. What are your thoughts on the strength of the Spain squad?
First and foremost, I expect them to get out of the group. I drew them in a sweepstake. So, well, actually, that's not true. What I drew was the winner is a different kind of sweepstake. So I drew the winner of Group E. So they better win that group, because I'm not trying to go Sweden and Slovakia or Rebel Lewandowski FC. I'm not trying to do it. So I'm like, I don't really like Spain generally. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like Spain. Since that whole generation of when it was dominating everything, I find it boring. Well, as good as it is, I find it boring. And I've always been on the Portugal side, like Ronaldo and that. So Spain are my rivals. But right now, I've got money on this. So Spain, I expect you to get out of that group as well. And if we're going to be honest, as you said, the group ain't strong. They're good. They're better than all three. They're better than all the other three teams. Now, I'm not saying guaranteed they're going to win all three games, but they're better than all three. Even, I think what it is when people think, because I'm not going to lie, I'm sleeping on Spain a bit, or I have been until I drew them in the sweepstake, is they were at such a high after 2008, 2010, 2012. And when you're comparing this team to that, it's like, well, it's chalk and cheese. This team's horrible. But then you have to question, well, are we ever going to get another team like that? I'm not going to say another team like that. That's not fair, because in my lifetime, I'll say we've had 2 European teams like that: France, the 98/2000, and Spain. But it's big shoes to fill for this team. But I think it's unfair that we're even comparing to it. I think in the midfield, they've got very, very good players in their midfield. But I just think they're lacking, especially up front. I think they're lacking up front. You know, Moreno's done well, to be fair, this season with Villarreal. But you're banking on Morata, Ferran Torres, Adama Traore. Like, that's who you're really banking on firing you to glory. When in the past they had Fernando Torres, David Silva, Diego Costa, it's a big drop down from that level.
Yeah.
But I do think, I think they'll get out of the group. I expect quarterfinals minimum from them. Quarterfinals minimum. The midfield's very good.
Javern, let's talk about Sweden. No Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which I felt was a bit teeth anyway. Like, how can you just rock up once they've qualified? You know what I mean? I didn't like that. Don't like that. But no Zlatan, they got no real star power in that team. But they're another one. Always get to the tournaments and then somehow do decent enough to get into the knockout stages. Do you think they'll do the same again?
Nope. Spain should top this group, like Nick said. I expect them to. These men here, the rest of them, Sweden and Poland, I would say that they're just, you know them dogs that just bark and make the most noise. Like, that's them, and they're like, they ain't got no teeth. I don't think they'll make it for me, really. They may prove me wrong, but I feel like obviously someone has to come second, probably be Sweden. Let me look at that group again.
I don't know. I mean, Poland have got one real big tooth.
Yeah. I think Poland.
Liwan.
To be honest, I think Poland, for Lewandowski's legacy, he needs to do something at the tournament, because it's all good. I understand I ain't got the best team. I get it. But you're supposed to be Ballon d'Or winner this year. You were supposed to win it last year. Do something. Get some goals. Give them a chance of getting out of the group. And I think Poland will get out of the group.
Yeah. All right, so 1 to 4. I'm not even going to mention Slovakia because
therefore,
no disrespect, but yeah.
It will be Spain, Poland, Sweden, Slovakia.
Yeah, I agree. Spain, Poland, Sweden.
I think Sweden finished above Poland, personally. But that's me just being different. On to the last group, and the group of death, the one that everyone is interested in. France, Germany, Hungary, and Portugal. And let's talk about Hungary.
Really?
How bad is it going to be for them? Because you know what? I have a theory. I think Germany, France, and Portugal are going to draw all their games against each other. And it's going to come down to who beats Hungary better. Like, who scores more goals against Hungary. That's how you're going to win the group.
You know what? Portugal played Hungary in the last Euros, and they didn't scrape a draw, but they had to come from behind, I think, twice to draw 3-3 with Hungary. Portugal's got that in there where they just do foolishness, and what about getting knocked out? Obviously, last time they got through. Hungary ain't doing nothing. I can't see them doing anything in this thing, which means all three should go through. And I say
all 3 should go through.
Because three can go through, but you're going to need at least 3 points. If you draw with Hungary, then you're done. You're out of the tournament. You're done. So I think they need to beat Hungary. Everyone has to beat Hungary, and it comes down to a shootout. Listen, I'm backing. Obviously, got to look at Spain money there. Hold that. I'm looking at you. Do your thing. But I'm backing Portugal for the tournament. I've been backing Portugal for the tournament, and that starts with backing them to top the group. I'm backing them to top the group. Where do I believe it? I don't know. Was there logic behind it? Again, I don't know. But I'm backing them to top the group. I think they've got some top players. Obviously, Ronaldo, nothing needs to be said there. But outside of that, Jota had a good season with Liverpool. João Felix obviously just won the league. Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, João
Big game,
Matip,
Bruno.
Ruben Neves. Say again?
Big game, Bruno.
Well, yeah, come on, big game. You're gonna turn up against Hungary. Hat-trick against Hungary. What are you talking about? Listen, that's the big game because you need to rack up the goals against Hungary. Leave the other ones to Ronaldo. Leave the small games like France and Germany to Ronaldo. And then at the back, obviously Ruben Diaz, Cancelo, Pepe. I don't know if he starts, but the way I see him in the semi-final, semi-final against Chelsea, no, quarterfinal.
No, it's the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinal. Listen, man was 39 years old. Man was doing a job. I said, yeah, I'm back. I think Portugal can top this group and avoid England. Avoid England in the next round.
Javan, what are your thoughts on this group, buddy?
It's a tough one. When I actually saw the group, I was like, "It's a bit peak still for Hungary. Still, they are definitely the whooping boys." And it's not even like it's a decent team that can maybe nick a draw, maybe. Like they're absolutely just gonna lose that. Like there's no it's mad. They ain't winning a single game. They're ending it on minus something. It's peak. It's so peak, and I don't know how groups like this even form. This is mad because obviously one of those three are going out, and everyone's been saying that France haven't even been that good, so they could even go out.
Yeah, I don't.
They're not even guaranteed. A lot of people are saying France are guaranteed. People are saying France, but I just clocked Germany's in this group. It's mad. It's so peak. It's so peak. Whoever goes out.
Yeah, I think Germany are. I think for me, Germany are my favourites to win this whole thing, and it's not just because of my Bundesliga thing. It's the narrative. Joachim Löw's last European Championship, he changes his mind, brings back Hummels and Muller. Do you know what I mean? It's just there's one or two little things there that make me think Germany are going to go and do this. But again, they could go out in the groups. It's all mad. And I also have this thing where I think Timo Werner is just going to ball out and end up top goal scorer in the tournament. Do you know what I mean? He's going to score 5 goals, which just bounce off his knee.
You just wanted to be top goal scorer because
I would find that so funny. I would find it so funny. I think he's not had the best of seasons at all, and he goes away with Germany, away from the Chelsea pressure, and bags 5 goals, 6 goals, top goal scorer. I'm like, what?
Who did they play? Who did they play the other day? Not the other day, but a few months ago, and he missed from 2 yards.
Yeah.
Macedonia.
I think it was North Macedonia. They lost that one.
And they lost that game. Listen, they've got firepower. They have got firepower. I think Muller coming back is big. They're 5-0 up at the moment against Latvia.
It's 5 now.
Yeah, half time. Coming half time. Gnabry, Sane, Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz for me would be more crucial for them than Werner. And I say crucial for them in terms of goal scoring. Obviously, we know what Werner brings in the fact that they keep picking the current manager, Joachim Löw, Tuchel. They keep picking him because of those qualities they bring. But in terms of goal scoring and assisting, etc., I think Kai Havertz would be. What's that?
What is that banging on to?
That might be me. Something just dropped.
Yeah, he's. I think he'll be so integral to their tournament. I think all 3 will go through. I think. One obviously as one of the runners up, the best placed 3rd teams. I mean, obviously France. I guess we're gonna get to France.
France next, yeah. France. Benzema's back. There's another narrative for you. Benzema's back in the fold. France team. I don't think this squad is as strong as it could be.
Okay.
When I'm seeing man like Sissoko in there.
People say that every tournament.
Yeah,
for 5 years
he plays all right. And then he plays all right. But I don't understand. There's so much talent in France. And man like Sissoko is still getting called up. But it doesn't make sense.
A man like Laporte can't even get a game to the point
where
you have to
team
switch.
That you need. So you could play Ndombele, Pogba, Kante, I don't know who's all the other talented
Rabiot's
midfielders.
there.
You can play all of them.
Rabiot's there.
But if no one's running back to track, you're gonna lose. Like Sissoko ain't got the tech, and if he gets anywhere near the 8-yard box, he ain't scoring and he ain't assisting. So you keep him far away from that. But you need some man just to do the dirty work. You know, Kane does some dirty work, but he does it with class. Sissoko just does it dirty, innit? Just run, hustle, harry. And it's Deschamps, innit? Deschamps got a more of a pragmatic, I guess, tendencies to his game. When you've got that attack, the Mbappe, Griezmann, Benzema now, who he looked quality in their last game. Who did he play?
He might not even start though. He might go with Giroud. That's his boy.
He can't bring back Benzema and tell him to get on the bench. You can't do that. What did they play their last game?
Probably would.
Oh, was it
They beat Wales 3-0.
And I think he
missed a
Benzema
penalty,
hit
though.
the woodwork twice. When he had one where he turned, I think it was from someone tapped it in the rebound, but he turned on it and smashed it against the pole. Like he just looked sharp, ready. Yeah, they look good. They look good. I would love a rematch final, Portugal against France.
Yeah.
And then from 2016. But you just know one of them's gonna go out before the final. That's too simple, that's too easy. Like this tournament just don't work like that. One of those big boys are gonna go out before the final.
Yeah, this group's going to be very interesting. So 1 to 4, let's do it. Who's finishing where?
Oh golly, 4th place couldn't be more harder.
France. No.
Imagine. I mean, they did it in
2002.
Yeah, Euros 2002. No, sorry, World Cup 2002, where they obviously went as defending champions and finished bottom of the group
Didn't score a goal.
Yeah, they didn't score a goal, didn't they?
And that squad was stacked as well.
Yeah, they had the names all over, all of it. They dragged. Which tournament was
and that group was a lot worse. Was it Senegal,
Uruguay, and Denmark?
Yeah.
Yeah. John Thomason and Salif Diao and Diego Forlan over at Uruguay. I'm going Portugal, France, Germany.
Yeah, I feel that. Portugal, Germany, dark horses in that group. I think Portugal and France are probably more likely to make out that group. Germany haven't been the greatest. So hasn't France. Germany could nick it in. It's really tough, man. But I'm gonna have to say Portugal and France. But Portugal and France, but I wouldn't be surprised if Germany go and nick it. For who, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm saying I'm going Germany top, Portugal second, France third. Hungry for that's what I'm going with.
Listen, that would be something. I mean, because everyone I hope France don't win it. Because everyone's been so certain that France is going to win it. And I'm like, have you not, football just don't work like that. It just doesn't.
If I'm not mistaken, France weren't that good in the group stages in the World Cup. It went until the knockouts and they actually started playing.
It's straight through against Australia 2-1.
Yeah.
I remember the second game was, and then they beat Croatia. No, not Croatia. Did they beat 1-0? Was it Denmark? I think maybe the final game they beat Denmark. They were good. I mean, they played correctly in terms of you don't want to peak too early. So they were just building. But why third?
I think France finished third. That's a feeling I have. I just think that they're going to go into this, and I don't think
you put money down on it.
No, God, no, I'm not going to put money on nothing in this group. No way. No way.
You said you feel it.
There's money to be won in this group.
I'm not going to put nothing on nothing. I'm going to keep my money in my pocket. Right, yeah, so that's it. So that's our group previews. And the next show we have on Monday, we'll be talking about what's happened in the first few games over the weekend. The Euros is very close, man. Very, very close. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends and your family, spread the word. We'll be doing more content throughout the Euros. Thank you for watching. We will be back on Thursday. Will it be a Q&A or are we doing something different on Thursday? I'm not sure. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. But yes, this has been the Football Dugout. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Javern, outro.
Where's HH?
Come on, Germany. Come